Welcome to this radio video. Today I will give out two listening tips, and I'll probably do this regularly to help anyone who wants to listen to different stations on shortwave. I'll give out schedules, and my listening tips today are for, let's say, it's moderate DX. It's not the most difficult stations to hear, but it's not the easiest. And two stations that I'm going to talk about and give the schedules is, first of all, Radio Thailand. Radio Thailand on shortwave has been on the air since 1938, and they have some English and, of course, other languages, but I'll focus here on English language programs directed to Europe and North America, and also Oceania. So the schedules, if you want to try Radio Thailand, this is the difficult of the two that I'm going to give today. I suspect that it's much easier to hear Radio Thailand in Europe than it is in North America. We really have a hard time listening, and I heard them actually 2 days ago, and they were coming in barely, just enough, to listen to the program, but it wasn't very strong. And 15590 in North America has been a very bad frequency this summer. So we have Europe from 0530 to 0600 hours UTC on 17640. We have 1900 to 2000 UTC on 9390 kilohertz, and a 15-minute broadcast from 2030 to 2045 on 9390 kilohertz. So these are to try for. I suspect that 9390 might actually be the best of all the frequencies, but try everything, you never know. In North America, we have two transmissions from Radio Thailand. We have 0100 to 0100 on 15590 kilohertz. Here in Montreal, that has been the only frequency, the only time of day that I've heard Radio Thailand. And depending on propagation, it could be really good to absolutely zero. And this summer we had more zero than good. So it gives you an idea of how difficult it is. The 0100 hour broadcast is divided in two parts. From 0100 to 030 is for Eastern North America. 030 to 0100 is to Western North America. And they actually switch the antenna right in the middle. So if you're listening in the East Coast, you have a good signal. Don't be surprised at 030 the signal drops. They switch the antenna for Western North America. And there's a 30-minute from 0200 0230 on 15590 kilohertz. That one doesn't make it at all. I've never heard it here. And the funny thing about that is the fact that at 0200 I start hearing New Zealand, Radio Australia, and I'm surprised that this frequency does not come in. So I don't know what pattern they're using in the antenna or what power, but it's a little surprising that we don't hear it at 0200. Finally, they have two transmissions to Oceania. 1230 to 1300 UTC, 9390 kilohertz, in 1400 to 1430 UTC, 9390 kilohertz. Sorry. So this is the transmission from Radio Thailand. English, of course, they have other languages, but I'm focusing on the English part here. So this is to try for, and I want to have your feedback if you guys hear Radio Thailand, and give me a little feedback on how strong you heard them and how well it was making it to your area of the world. By the way, even if a transmission is not directed to your area, you can sometimes try other frequencies. For example, at 0530, I would try the 17640 kilohertz just in case. And as we're going into fall slowly, 19 to 2000 hours UTC can probably make it to North America a little later. In September. I would suspect that frequency is a possibility to North America. Second station, this one has been much easier to hear in Montreal. Actually, it's been a regular every morning, and I just actually listened to it this morning, Saturday morning. Listened to the mailbag show that I enjoy listening to on KBS World Radio. KBS World Radio is what was Radio Korea International in the 80s and 90s, when then they switched the name. It's from South Korea. And they have the following schedule. If you're in Europe, 1600 to 1700 UTC, 9575 kilohertz. From 1800 to 1900 UTC, 7275 kilohertz. And finally, from 2200 to 2300 hours UTC, 11810. I put little stars next to 11810 because this one has been heard in North America, and I actually hear it myself. So 22 to 2300 sometimes make it to the eastern part of North America. In North America, we have one transmission in English, and it's from 1300 to 1400 UTC, 15575. This one has been a good one. It's been a solid copy. But I've noticed that because I did try it on my portable receivers, just using the telescopic antenna. And what I noticed is that if you're in a low noise area, you probably can receive it even on a small portable. I've been able to receive it on a small, my Texan PL450 in the kitchen here, just using the telescopic antenna. So I think that this one probably makes it even to small portables. But of course my ICOM with the outdoor antenna does receive it better. And I, just put a small piece of wire outside of a window, and you'd be surprised the difference in reception. If you're in South America, they have a transmission in English from 02 to 0300 UTC, 9580 kilohertz. And to Southeast Asia, 1400 to 1500 hours UTC, 9640 kilohertz in Southeast Asia. So radio, KBS World Radio, this one much easier to hear. This morning I was listening to the mailbag, and lots of European, of course, writing in and saying, well, the frequencies 11810 have been harder to hear. It's kind of a mixed bag. Some people get good reception. 7275 seems to be a good one. A lot of people saying that, reception was good there in Europe. So once again, give me your feedback. If you heard KBS World Radio, how well you heard it, what frequency and time you were listening to, and try it out. So 2 stations to try for. I hope you guys listen to it this week. And hey, why not send them a reception report? Both KBS World Radio and Radio Thailand QSL, so you can send them a reception report. Don't just stick to the technical stuff. Stations like to know what you like and don't like about their program. So, don't just send a reception report. Tell them that you listen to the broadcasts and what you liked, and give them details of how reception was and how you enjoyed their programs. That's what keeps shortwave alive. If they don't have any feedback, that's why they stop transmitting. So hope you enjoyed these 2 station tips, and hope to have feedback. And I'll actually make a video receiving both KBS World Radio and Radio Thailand, if possible, this week, to show you that it's possible to hear them even in North America. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed these tips, and 73s.